Good morning, friends. Today is Sunday morning here in Chicago in America, and will be the Sunday discourse is the Bhagavatam. And today is a very interesting topic that Krishna is giving the guidance. Ka Pantha. What is the way? So Krishna will be guiding us. Let us start with the stotra. Shantakaram Bhujagashayanam Padmanabham Suresham Vishwadharam Gagana Sadrisham Meghabarnam Shubhangam Lakshmi Kantam Kamalanayanam Yogi Dhyanagamyam Bande Vishnum Bhavabhayaharam Sarvalokaika Natham. So, Sri Krishna was preparing to end his Krishna Avatara Leela. So, he was ready to depart. And we have already discussed, majority of the people of his own clan, they killed themselves, fighting among themselves. And few, they fled from there. And only one or two, like the Uddhava, they were with the Krishna. So Uddhava was asking the Krishna, and Uddhava was worried about the Dharma, the righteousness, the practice of the righteousness. So Uddhava, he was thinking that Krishna was the guide. Krishna is to tell people what to do and what not to do. If that Lord Krishna is not there, the Vedas are there, but only handful of people, they will practice that. What about the majority of the people? What about the whole society? And after the devastating war in the Kurukshetra, what will happen to the righteousness? In the war, the mind of the people that goes down to the animal level, they try to kill each other, and then they will be killing, they will be looting, and just for the survival. So that was the temperament. Now, how to restore the righteousness, the Dharma, what Krishna will do? Of course, the Pandavas, they were ruling, but still Uddhava was anxious. He wanted the guideline from the Krishna. So he asked, Ka Pantha, what is the path? It's a Vedantic question, what is that path? And here also in Bhagavata, the same Krishna. And you know that Krishna in the Bhagavata and Krishna in the Bhagavad Gita, that's very interesting. There's some people, they like the Vaishnava, the way, so they will say the Bhagavata is their book. But it's the same Krishna who gave the highest philosophy, Vedantic philosophy in the Bhagavad Gita, or whatever it may be. And moreover, we know it was expounded by the great Rishi and the sannyasi Shukadeva. And it was listened by the first, it was listened by one Parikshit, King Parikshit, who was ready to die. There was no desire in his mind except the God realization. He knew that after 7 days he is going to die, and hold this thing within the 7 days only. Now we are in almost the last part. It is the 11th skanda we are reading. There is a 12th, but that gives the explanation of the families. So that is not, that we are not going to study. But in the 11th, and we are concluding almost, and that Sri Krishna is giving us the guidance. So he is asking, what will happen? Being a realized soul himself, the Uddhava, he knew that this world, this phenomena is utterly temporary. Attaching the mind with this elusive creation of God and forgetting God himself bring misery life after life. So Lord Krishna already spoke about the path of knowledge, practice of the dispassion and discrimination. But even then, the Krishna has also in detail given the injunctions that are to be followed by the people at different stages of life, as Swadharma of Chaturasrama, Chaturvarna. We have already discussed those. This is all done. Even then, the Uddhava is asking, Kah Pantha, what is the path for the ordinary people? Now, those who are capable, for them it is okay. But those who are not, shall we leave them like that? Let them die? No, that cannot be. And that is the mind of a sadhu. Sadhu doesn't mean that he is a monk. Sadhu means a good person. And how can you consider that he is a good person? He thinks for others. He feels for others. Their suffering, their joy, everything is reflected in his own mind. So that is a sadhu. And his mind is so soft, so kind. So he always thinks first for the people, why they are suffering, and how to. And then he is asking how they will get both enjoyment of this worldly life also, the success, the self-confidence, the respect, and at the same time the spiritual knowledge. So he is asking the Uddhava Uvacha. This is the 19th chapter, 8th verse, and it says, Jnanam Vishuddham Vipulam Jathaitad Vairagya Vijnana Yutam Puranam Akkahi Visheshara Vishamurte Tad Bhakti Yogam Cha Mahat Bimikyam. So he is asking that, O Lord of the universe, Visheshwara, Ishwara means the Lord, Vishya is the universe, Lord of the universe, whose form is the universe. This is very interesting. And Vishamurte, you are the Lord, you are the Creator, at the same time you are this phenomena, you are this Vishya. So in two words, everything is very clear, and that is Hinduism. So those who are actually thinking about Hinduism, practicing Hinduism, interested in Hinduism, should understand this: the God and His creation. But this creation is also the same God. So Visheshwara, Vishamurti, you are this world. Maybe this world is temporary and you have created it. So if I transform this Vishya as your Murti, if I transform this world as your different forms, then I see God every moment, every time. I live with God. That is the idea. So God has become so many in different forms, names, in different places, in different times, but that is the same God. And what will happen? I cannot criticize others. I cannot hate others. I cannot fight with others. So that person will completely change because he will see God in everything. That is the ultimate goal of the religion, to become one with God. So he says, O Lord of the universe, and your form is the universe, please tell me how this pure and ancient knowledge, coupled with dispassion and realization, becomes steady. We have the idea about it. We have the knowledge about it. Some intellectual conception about it. But we want to live with it. That is called Vijnana. So he has used the word Vijnana. Sri Ramakrishna, Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna, again and again, he said about the Vijnana. Vijnani means one who is living that life, understanding and living are two different things. I know that there is some good things are there in the milk, but I never drank milk. I never got the effect of the good effect of the milk. This is the difference. I know about milk, but I didn't get that within my system. So that difference, he says, so how this pure and ancient knowledge, pure and ancient, that is eternal knowledge. The knowledge not that it was created at that time, not that Sri Krishna created that knowledge. No, it is eternal knowledge. It is there. Whether the people remember it or not, it will be there. This pure, why pure? Because it takes my mind towards God, so pure. So pure and ancient knowledge coupled with dispassion and realization. Why he used these two words, dispassion and realization? Without the dispassion for the world and worldly things, the creation of God, I won't get the God. If I am happy with my father's property, I will never get the father. Father will say, okay, my son is happy with my car and my this and that, let him be there. But if I like to go near Father, the company of the Father, love of the Father, like to be one with Him, I have to give up all his wealth and say, Father, I like you, I love you, I like to be with you, that much. So either God or God's creation. God's creations, well, you will get some joy, but temporary. Again the misery will come. So he says the pure, and this purity means thinking about God. Thinking about the world is impure. Thinking about God is pure. So pure and ancient knowledge, the eternal knowledge. And it gives what? How we get that knowledge? Through dispassion of this, detachment of these worldly things, and realization. It is not only knowledge, it is also the use of that knowledge in my personal life, in our lives. That is called the realization becomes steady. Maybe I will have the glimpse of God in my meditation, but I want to make it steady. I want to find God all the time, every moment. Also tell me about the devotion which the great souls practice. So here is the devotion. On the basis of this, sometimes some people will say that the Bhagavata is the book of devotion. No. The first 9 chapters of the Bhagavata, there is no God, there is only Vishnu, and only knowledge. And there are so many incidents, there are so many stories, and the conversations all about the knowledge. And here also we will find what is this. Without devotion, knowledge won't come. So that is what the Lord said. Well, Yudhishthira also wanted to know this religion of liberation. Moksha Dharma. Moksha Dharma, religion of liberation. So I have given the name, the Bhagavata, a guide to liberation. A liberation, the mukti. Mukti from what? From ignorance. And what is that ignorance? I, me, mine, all this is the ignorance. And because of this ignorance, I am getting attached with these worldly things, and these worldly things are temporary. I am trying to hold and it is sleeping all the time. I like my son, I like my daughter, I like my father, mother, wife, family, my society, but everything goes away, and one day I am also dead. And the soul which was attached to that, since it is not getting their company, it suffers, and that's called hell. What is the hell? Suffering. Why I suffer? Because of my attachment. So this we have to understand. This is very important. Hell and heaven. What is heaven? Joy without attachment. And what is hell? Suffering because of attachment. So these are the two differences. So Uddhava asks this question. It is having the two parts. What's that? Moksha Dharma, the religion of liberation. Religion means practices. And those practices will take us to liberation. And when the Uddhava asked, you can find that there are two parts are there. One about the knowledge and about the devotion. The first part, the Uddhava, the Lord is giving the answers. The Sri Krishna, he is quoting the Bhishma. Now this is a great teaching. Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna also again and again, you will find in the Gospel, he said, I heard it from so and so. I learned it from so and so. He is never mentioning that this is I am giving. No. So this is not claiming the thing that is not mine. That is the first thing, the truthfulness, non-stealing. That's the first of the religion. We quote many other things. I have heard so many people simply quoting Sri Ramakrishna and Vivekananda's ideas and ideologies. Language only they are changing, but never ever acknowledges that these ideas I got it from Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna or Swami Vivekananda, very few. And sometimes they mention about Swami Vivekananda because Vivekananda is so popular and Vivekananda's works are so well known, the people will say, oh, these are all known. But from Sri Ramakrishna's ideology, they don't acknowledge. Why? With the subconscious mind that I will be appreciated by the people, that desire is there. When the desire is there, that means you are not a pure soul. Any desire, and the worst desire is the desire for popularity. In the spiritual life, the worst desire is desire for popularity. People will appreciate, people will clap, and people will talk to me. That is all for the desire. So Lokaishana, in Sanskrit it says Lokaishana. Krishna, the God himself. And he gave everything. Even then, here, when they asked the question that Uddhava, he said, see, after the Kurukshetra war, Yudhishthira also wanted to know it, and we all went. The Yudhishthira, the spearheading the Yudhishthira, we all went to Bhishma, who was then waiting for his death. And then we went and asked him. Bhishma was a man of knowledge. So what he said, I will tell you. So from the Bhishma, he is quoting. So this is the knowledge. And what is this knowledge? And very interestingly, he is explaining about the world. And then he is telling it is not real. How? He says, knowledge is to know this world, which is the combination of 9, 11, 5, 3. If you can remember, first is 9. What is the 9? It's called, go on, you can count, Purusha, Prakriti, Mahat. Mahat means the cosmic intelligence. Ahamkara, that is the individual intelligence or ego. And 5 Tanmatras. So this is the 9. 4 plus 5, 9. Then 11. What are the 11? 5 organs of knowledge added with 5 organs of actions plus mind. This is 11. Then again 5 elements, and that is called Bhuta in Sanskrit. 5 elements is the earth, water, fire, air and ether. And 3, finally, what are the 3? Is the gunas, Sattva, Raja, Tama. The students of Vedanta and those who are observing or listening to this talk, you are all acquainted with these terminologies. This total 9 plus 11 plus 5 plus 3, this is the total world. This whole universe is the sum total of these and nothing else. but they are all lifeless until and unless it is added with one. What is that one? That is Brahman. Tad sistva tadeva anupravishat. The God created this and then entered into it. Because the God, the consciousness entered, so I feel I am living, I am talking, I am giving the knowledge to other people, I feel proud. All this thing comes because of the reflection of the God's consciousness on my intellect. That's all. So this is the world. What is the knowledge? Understanding the world is the combination of only these. But without the one, it is nothing. The Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna, therefore, he said, if you put one first and then add as many zeros, it will carry the value. Otherwise, there is no value. Only zeros, no value. So one means the God. If the God is there, then only world exists. If the God is not there, then it is dead and dry and nothing lives. So that is the first knowledge. Then second part of the question is the devotion. Friends, the 11th book, the Skanda, 19th chapter, from 20 to 23, these 4 verses, 20, 21, 22, 23, these 4 verses total, it contain about the devotion. And how to develop devotion, and what is this devotion? I won't quote from the Sanskrit, rather I will give you the meaning of it. To develop devotion to the Supreme God, one should, with faith, one constantly listen the words of the God. This is the first thing. You have to go on listening. That's why the Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna said that you have to go to a sadhu sangha, and all scriptures they say satsanga, sadhu sangha. What? Listen about God, and listen about that analytical way, and at the same time emotional way, you listen about the God. The constantly listening the words of the God. Meditate on His activities. Meditate on His activities. This is also very interesting. Unless and until we know the qualities of the God, then we are constantly thinking about now the Ganesha Chaturthi. It has just yesterday it was there. There are thousands and millions of devotees. They will be worshipping that image of the Ganesha. Is that Ganesha? No, it is His quality. The quality of God, if we don't think or meditate or ponder over, I will never generate those. So this is, Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna again said, Nama, Guna, Kirtana. Nama is the name of God, only name of God, or the form of God won't help you. His Guna, the God's qualities, and also Kirtana. Kirtana means with all devotion, with all respect, with all faith. When you are going on remembering, then only you will get the devotion. So first, constantly listen. Second, meditate on His activity. Third, analyze and explain to others. So when we are explaining to others, we are having the dialogue with others, then my doubts also goes away. Because I was thinking it is like this, then when I shared my idea with someone else, you'll say, no, it should be like this. You get another viewpoint. And you can understand, oh yes, that will be much more better. So that is the reason why so many varieties of religions are there, because of this. Different views are there. Obviously, those who are trying to develop the devotion, faith in God, from different angles they can analyze, no problem. But one thing should be there. I am not going to hurt anyone. I am analyzing, and then I am thinking this is the path that I should follow. These are the activities that I should do. You are welcome to do those, but don't hurt others. If those activities are hurting others, that is not religion. That cannot be the path of devotion. Then the fourth, feel joy in worshipping God. Sometimes the people, they are worshipping God in the temples and other places, but not finding joy. It's a sort of a job that they do that, perform that, and get the salary and maintain their families. Not like that. It should be full of joy. Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna, he accepted the puja of goddess Kali. And when he came to Dakshinesha, if you read the biography of Sri Ramakrishna, it's an open book and the book of religion. Each and everything that the different scriptures are talking about, telling us, it is all there demonstrated in his life. So it is so important, the life of Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna. And when he is worshipping the goddess Kali, before him, his brother used to do that. After him, till now, so many people are doing the same thing. But what is the difference? That these people worship and Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna's worship, he did it with love and with great faith. The mother, I am offering you food. If you don't take food, if you are just standing like the stone image, then why should I offer food? You have to partake, you have to take, you have to talk to me. You have otherwise this conversation that all the time I am doing. So this is called the worship with love. The feel joy in worshipping God. Then chant the hymns. This is also very important. In the southern India, this tradition is there. They will learn so many chanting. Even the children, I have seen over here in America also, the parents, young couples, whatever they have learned, they are now teaching it to their children. And sometimes they take to some other ashramas who are teaching the chanting. So they believe the chanting is very, very important in the spiritual life, of course. But the meaning of those chants, Sanskrit words, that expression that I am giving through the words, I should feel those also, that is also important. So chant the hymns. Should be happy to work for God. Swami Vivekananda said, think yourself blessed that you have been chosen for this particular job. That is called, one should be happy. Whatever the responsibility I have been given by the authorities, I am happy with that. So that happiness, just murmuring, oh, why this work has given to me, I am so and so, I am so educated, I am so capable, these people are not giving me the opportunity. So what happened? Many of the times, those who come to the organization, after sometimes they go away and they start another ashrama. No problem, they can do that. At the back of their mind, what is there? And suppose they are in the organization that I joined to develop my spiritual life, if the immorality they are practicing, of course, I should not be there. I can leave. If there is an immorality, but if there is no immorality, just because to satisfy my desire, when I am going, is it not that my ego is working? My impulse that I should go out, I should start another ashrama, and I should show the people that I can do, is not that ego? So those who are in the organizations, spiritual organizations, should remember this. The moment you are joining an organization as a spiritual religious organization, you are no more that individual. you're a part of that organization. So anything good for that organization that you can bring, yes, that you are really giving something to the organization. And anything bad that you do, it goes to the organization, not to you. People won't remember your name. They'll say, oh, so and so organization, they are not good people because of us. So one should be very, very careful, should be happy to work for God, not to satisfy others, for God. So friends, I remember when I first joined in the Cherrapunji as a hill station in the northeastern part of India. And it's very picturesque, very beautiful. But from there, and when I joined, it is 1975, so that time the road was narrow, so many difficulties. And there was no market nearby, but we had a school and the hostels. So someone has to go down to Guwahati, a long journey to purchase. So I was given that. So I went, and the vehicle that was given to me and the driver, both were very old. So I had a lot of trouble. So we went over there, and being a brahmachari, I am not supposed to eat outside. So somehow, then I came back, and it was late night because of the fog. It's so dangerous to drive. All those things were over. And when I came back, then I found only one plate of food is left over there on the dining table, and no one waiting for me. I had to share that food with the driver also, because he was also hungry. And I was not very happy. Why these people should do like this? They should at least think in this way. Then next morning, after the prayer, in the breakfast table, the in-charge Swami, he started asking before others. There are other monks and brahmacharis and other staffs are also there, devotees. Hey, you have purchased this thing. Oh, you are not intelligent enough. It could be purchased in much less price and this and that. Again and again he never said, and you have taken so much of trouble. So he never said that. So a young man of 24, I think, oh, these people, they don't know how to appreciate the work, the sincere work that I did. So I became a little angry, and when you become angry, that you stop eating food to bring to notice to the other people that you are angry. So that I practiced, and the noontime the Swami came, knocked the door, took me over there, fed me, then he took me to his room, and then that is the teaching I never forgot. He said, so you are angry and you are feeling miserable. You know why? Because I have not appreciated you. Do you work for me? And if you do that, you are going to suffer. If you work for a person who is in charge just for his happiness, you are going to suffer. Work for God. God is the Jagannatha. Two big eyes, constantly looking and observing. Everything will be noted by God. So work for God. That was a great teaching. He said, should be happy to work for God. Be humble before God. Admire other devotees of God. When the other devotees are coming, sometimes we feel, no, they should not come because my importance will go away if they're coming and doing that. That is the worst thing. God never likes it. So the God is, any person coming, and if he is doing something for the God, I am happy that they are doing for my God, my Lord, and my beloved. That is the devotion. But majority of the time you will find that among the devotees who are attached with the ashrama, or among the monastic members also, a little bit of jealousy, a little bit of these things are there. It should not be. So these are the teachings we should not only read, but try to imbibe. Admire other devotees of God. Then it look upon all beings as God. always be active to serve God, always remembering God. Sometimes what happens, we get attached to some particular person and we serve him and we think he is my God, etc. That is okay. But he is not individual, he is an organization. I am talking about the organization. We are a part of the great organization, Ramakrishna Mission. It is a huge spiritual organization. So obviously, the devotees who are coming to me, serving me, I should also try to help them that it is not only me, it is the whole organization that you should love. And if the person is constantly only one person and not others, no benefit, no devotion is growing. And the blessings of God, God knows, I don't know. Concentrate your mind on God. Give up worldly desires. Sacrifice worldly comforts. Perform unselfish work. Do charity and homa. Homa means the offering. Constantly repeat the name of God, japa. Be honest to the promises. That is also a very important. Be honest to the promises. Once you have given the word, you have promised, you must have to keep it. Once Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna gave a word that I will visit your house. Then he forgot, and the person who was supposed the neighbor, just adjacent to the Dakshinesha, he also forgot. Sri Ramakrishna went to bed. It was night. Then he remembered, oh, I gave the word and I didn't keep it. And then he took a lantern and then walked the whole path, and the dark night reached their house and then placed his holy feet on their door and said, oh, I came, I kept my promise. He didn't disturb them because they were sleeping, but he kept his promise by this way. This is the way we learn. This is here in the Bhagavata, the Lord is telling, be honest to the promises. And is anybody practicing it? Yeah, Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna. That's why Sri Ramakrishna is so important. His life is so important. Whoever comes, I always say, read his biography. That is the way we learn the religion. Practice austerity. That is also very important. So many things people are giving. That doesn't mean that we have to all the time enjoy that. Those who try to realize God should practice austerity and perform all activities only for God. Concluding, so these are the 20 things that if we practice, we develop devotion. In the Bhagavad Gita, the chapter 12 also, from 13 to 19 verses, it also says that who is a Priya, the dear one for the God, all these qualities only. So friends, this is very clear, and we have to make our mind very clear. The religion means a development of the human personality. How? By accumulating, by practicing some good qualities and nothing else. That is religion. And we fight in the name of religion. Is it not foolishness? The childish. We do not know what is religion, but we are fighting, killing, and not once. Hundreds and hundreds of years we are fighting. Just stop in one place and try to understand what is religion. It's a transformation. And that's why I appreciate so much Swami Vivekananda's this word. Religion is a process that makes a brute unto man, man unto God. The very selfish soul, the brute, who live only for himself, coming in touch with religion is transforming and becoming a human, a concerned person. And from that position, he becomes God. And what is God? Love and unselfishness personified. is the pure love and completely unselfish. That is God. If we understand God in this way, religion in this way, can I hurt others? Can I criticize others? And can I blame religion for some of the defects in the society? No. So this is the way it goes. Now let us continue. And in continuation we find the Lord, the God Sri Krishna, he is giving the answer to those questions that the Uddhava asked, and very clear. What is that? What is Dharma? Uddhava is asking. And what is knowledge? What is dispassion? And what is extraordinary power? Why suddenly extraordinary power? Because majority of the people, they think religion means something miraculous. Something that if you can't make the perform the miracle, then you are not a religious person. As a brahmachari, I was traveling in a train in India. Then a family was sitting just in front of me, and then a young the girl, maybe hardly 10 or 12, she was looking at me for some time, and she gave her hand to me and said, "Can you read my palm?" I told, "No, I am sorry." "Oh, you are a monk and you can't read the palm? Then what is the..." So then I understood. So this is the conception of the religion, that you should have some supernatural power, some extra knowledge, something like that. You should always contact with the God and talk. And because of this wrong conception, many people are there. They are cheating in the name of religion and bringing down the religious, the dharma, into a very bad shape. Many people, they don't like dharma because of this. The modern minds, they don't like dharma because of the wrong way of application of the dharma. Dharma is nothing like that. Dharma is acquiring the wonderful good qualities, divine qualities, and then becoming a very wonderful personality person. In the Bhagavata, again, in the 27th verse, 17 and 19 chapter, the Lord Krishna, he is giving the answer. What is dharma? What is knowledge? What is dispassion? And what is that power? Dharmo mad bhakti krit prokta. Dharmo mad bhakti krit prokta. Jnanam cha oikatma darshanam. Guneshu asanga vairagyam. Oisharjam cha anima adaya. See, 1, 2, 3, 4. What is dharma? It means those activities that enhance devotion. Any activity that enhance, develop devotion to God, love for God, that is called dharma. Second, what is knowledge? Realization of the unity of the self. That is knowledge. Unless that knowledge is there, you cannot develop devotion. That there in the list of the 20 that you are reading, one is there. You must see everything in God. The God is in everything. So what is knowledge? The realization of the unity of the self, that consciousness, my God is in every being. That is the knowledge. What is dispassion? If you like to take the God, if you like to realize God, if you like to go to God, you have to leave His creation. So that is dispassion. Non-attachment to the sense objects, that is dispassion. Non-attachment to the sense objects. So sometimes some people will say, hey, being a monk, why should you have a car? Why should you have room? Why should you do this? Or that is also a wrong conception. Because when a person, a monk, is serving the society, as Swami Vivekananda organized that way, they need it. That is essential, but they are not attached to it. That is also we should have to understand. Attachment should not be there. The moment you are asked to go and take charge of some places, you may be having so many things. But the next moment the authority will ask you to go somewhere else, then there you have to walk, there's no car, nothing is there, then you have to accept that. So that is called dispassion, no attachment to sense objects. Why Uddhava asks these questions? So there should not be confusion about the religion. Then what is power? The subtle yogic capacities, that is the power, animadi. And we in great length we have discussed about this power. It is in the YouTube, maybe you will get it. So what is the power? The Ashta Siddhi, then the Pancha Siddhi, etc., etc. So this power means, he mentioned about anima. Anima means to become very, very minute, tiny. That is the power of the yogic power. That is the Aishwarya. That's called the power. To utilize the opportunity of Sri Krishna's guidance, Uddhava requested him to explain the spiritual practices without which one cannot realize God or Atman. The God and Atman are the same. The God is a personification of that same object which we call Atman. Why? Because it has been noticed, unless and until something is there in front of us, we, the ordinary human being, cannot concentrate. So our mind goes here and there. It cannot and unless and until I can collect my mind and put into something and concentrate on that, meditate on that, there is no spiritual development. Concentration, meditation is the basis. Because it is the mind. Mind goes away, runs away, and it is attaching with all this, trying to enjoy the external objects. Unless I collect that mind and put that in one particular thing that is divine, I cannot develop the spirituality. And that is the reason the Hindus, they have given this opportunity. You will find in the Hindu temple so many varieties of gods and goddesses. Do you think Hindus are full? No. They are very, very intelligent. And particularly at this spiritual life, through their experience they have understood the man needs an object to concentrate in the beginning. And the object, there is no limitation. Whatever object you like, you can. And that means object, that particular thing is not very important. Important thing is the development of your concentration. You like Ganesha, okay. Durga, okay. Or just a stone, that is also all right. A tree, all right. So that is Hinduism. Not that they don't understand, they understand. But they are utilizing the psychology. And so that anyone from any standard, they can come and develop their spiritual life. That is the reason. So many gods and goddesses of the Hinduism, sometimes some people say, if we had only one God, then we could be very strong, united. That is a social thing. Becoming strong and then fighting with others and capturing the others' land and property, that is different thing. But the spirituality is completely different. It is love and unselfishness. And in the love and unselfishness, the grabbing the power and property and this, it cannot come. So we have to concentrate. That's why in the Bhagavata is also saying like that. But some of the things that one should practice, otherwise they won't be able to develop. What are those? I'm not going for the questions that the Uddhava asked, because the God is given the answer. I will give that the answers. The Lord says, non-injury, truthfulness, non-stealing, non-attachment, shame, non-accumulation of wealth, faith in God, chastity, silence, patience, forgiveness, fearlessness, purity of mind and body, purity of body, repetition of the Lord's name, austerity, offering of oblation in the sacred fire, faith in oneself, hospitality, worship of God, visiting holy places, working for the good of others, containment and service unto the teacher. This is called yama and niyama. Yama and niyama are the two things without which spiritual life cannot start at all. The first and foremost, non-injury. We should not hurt others. I don't physically hurt anyone, anything, but I go on thinking against others. And I think, oh, nobody can understand my mind. Apparently, I show that I am with such a holy person, I don't hurt others. You see, I am eating only the little rice and nothing else, not hurting others. No. What about your mind? So today morning only we were chanting from the 17th chapter of the Bhagavad Gita. Kayika, Bachika, Manasika. The physically and through the word and in the thought, in the mind. So these are the three types of action. Only physical action that is known, that is we can understand, we can see. But what about your thought? And what about the words that you are using? And sometimes people use the word in such a way, it would have been better to slap. That's so pungent words they will be using. And they think, no, I didn't do anything. I was just having the conversation. But in the way they will put it, the other person, they will suffer. So non-injury. All these things come under yama and niyama. Then it says, calmness is a steady attachment of the mind to me. Uddhava was asking the question, what is Shanta Bhava? What is the calmness? And the Lord is explaining, calmness is a steady attachment of the mind to me. Just sitting without any thought. Sometimes some people, because of the disease, they'll be sitting in one place, they can't move. Then somebody has to push him, his wheelchair, then only he can move. And he's a calm person. No. The calmness means a mind which is constantly thinking of God. That is calmness. Self-control is the control of the sense organs. Self-control means organs. So my eye, my nose, my ear, so I should control them. Some bad words are going on, I am not listening to it, not participating in it. And then not having even the words, if I am listening, I am not at all enjoying it. And fortitude is the bearing of grief. Patience is a perfect control over the palate and the sex impulse, and that should be controlled. The highest charity is the relinquishing of the idea of violence towards beings. That is called charity. And penance is the giving up of the desires. Valor is the conquest of one's own nature. Sometimes they call the heroes because they go and kill thousands of people. They are the war heroes. Now, what is the valor? Valor is the conquest of one's own nature. Honesty is looking upon everything with an equal eye. That is called honesty. Truthfulness is true and agreeable speech, which the sage practice. That is called truthfulness, satya. So what is that truthfulness? Sometimes we say some words, hey, you are an idiot, and I am telling the truth. No, you should not say like that. The satya means it should not be pungent. You should not hurt others. Agreeable speech. When you are telling that, the other person should agree to that. That means when I am rectifying, the other day, I think yesterday, we are having the Zoom class with Austin, the people, devotees, and the question came, the not finding fault with others. How can you work if the children are doing something wrong? Can't you find fault? You are not finding fault. You are rectifying them. It is not finding fault. And finding fault means even a person is good, but you cannot see anything good in that human, in that person. That is called finding fault, because of your ego, because of your impressions, and you cannot find anything good into that person, though he is having so many good qualities. That is finding fault. And here one should be very careful about using the words. Purity is non-attachment to the work. That is called purity. So how wonderfully Sri Krishna is explaining. And renunciation is the giving up of the work. What I am giving up? My ego. I am not the giving up the work. One should not misunderstand. The work doesn't mean that I should not work, only I should sit and eat and I do nothing. Not like that. I should do everything. But not attachment to that. Religion is that wealth which men may covet. What is that wealth that one should covet? It is religion. And the imparting of knowledge is religious renunciation. And giving that knowledge. Some people, they acquired knowledge, but they don't share it with others. It says religious renunciation, tyaga, is the religious knowledge. The highest strength is the control of prana. Then it says, fortitude is my divine state. The best profit is devotion to me. Learning is the destruction of the idea of multiplicity in the self. That is learning. What is shiksha? Learning. To know one. Again, Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna. He said, what is knowledge? To know one is knowledge. To know many is ignorance. Here the Krishna in the Bhagavata says the same thing. And what is shyness? Abhorrence of evil deeds. Now, beauty consists in virtues. What is the beauty? It is in the virtue, not the physical beauty. And what is the happiness? Is the transcending of the pleasure and pain. That is happiness. Misery is the hankering after the sense pleasures. And that is a misery, suffering. If somebody is having some popularity, I feel jealous. That is the misery. You are suffering. That man will be like that only, whether you like or not. So that's why one should be careful. Sometimes the singers or the actor, actresses, they commit suicide even. We are thinking, oh, those people are becoming so popular, I am not. Whatever your capacity, that is all sufficient. And you should be thankful. Oh, I am like this, I am. And many people are there who will like you. So should not give up. So why we are studying the scripture? For our own life. And what the scripture can teach us to be happy. How? To understand that I also have some good quality and I should not be jealous of others. And my best friend is God. And God is all love. So this is, a scholar is one who can distinguish between the bondage and liberation. And that is how the God is teaching. Then I will conclude. In the 43rd verse it says, what is hell? What is naraka? Ko naraka? Hell is the rise of tamas in the mind. Tamas means all negative ideas, negative things. That is called hell. But is it not so clear? So we should be understanding. If you are interested, you can read this book. We have this book in our bookstore by Swami Madhavananda ji, Uddhava Gita, and in page 214, 15, all these wonderful discussions are there. Rise of tamas. Tamas means of negative. And the teacher, who is a teacher, is no other than the God himself. Who can teach? Who is a teacher means the guru. Who can become a guru? Only God. The human body is the home. Look at it. That's why one should take the good care of the human body. Swami Vivekananda said every monastic member should do exercise at least for 1 hour in a day. So this is the home, because without the strong body there cannot be the strong mind, and without the strong mind we cannot realize God. And he indeed is called rich, who is rich in virtue. So all these virtues, that is called the richness. Thank you, friends. This is how the Uddhava, through the questions, got all this knowledge from the God, the Sri Krishna himself. Then ultimately, what is religion? Dharma. The dharma to acquire some good qualities. And what are those good qualities? Enlisted over here, just we read. And slowly, slowly, every day we should practice to imbibe this. So many are there already. Only we have to be aware of those, and we have to practice those. And what will be the ultimate gain of practicing religion? So naturally, that is utilitarian theory. So what is the gain? What is the benefit I am going to get? This is peace I am going to get, happiness I am going to get. And not only that, if I need the success in this worldly life, if I need the appreciation from the society, all we will get by practicing religion. Thank you.
So
the question?
So Maharaj, there is a Bengali question. If you can please translate the question and then answer. Shashwati De is asking, Sarva Bhute Paramatma Viraj Karen, জীবনে কিভাবে সেটি মেনে চলবো জগতে ভালো মন্দ দুই আছে
And the Shashwati is telling, as we are again and again we are telling, the Hinduism means it believes that God has created this universe. Not only Hinduism, almost all the religions. And out of what? Out of God himself. And naturally, if the God has created this universe, he is remaining in that, isn't it? There is a milk. I'm giving an example. There's a milk, and out of that milk, one sweet they have made. The confectioner, they have made the sweet. And the sweet means the milk only. And if I criticize milk, and I appreciate the sweet, or I criticize the sweet and appreciate the milk, how? So that is why, as she is asking, the God is present everywhere, how I will practice that? That is a very important question. This is step by step we have to practice. That first I have to understand the God is within me, and then the person with whom I am behaving is also there, and the animals, birds, so everywhere, but God in different forms, and according to that I have to behave. And in Bengali I will tell that the mother, and Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna also said, jar sange jamon tar sange temon. The God is there in a tiger, but does it mean that I should go and embrace a tiger? No. So I have to shun. Like one of our Swamiji, Swami Ishatmananda, he said that, and when he was talking that God is in every being, one person asked, if a burglar is coming, breaking into my house, and what am I going to worship him? Then the Swami answered, sure. but your worship should be by calling 199 or 911. So by calling the 911, so you should call the police and worship him. So that is the way. Thank you, Shashwati.
Maharaj, Devjani Dhar, two questions. First is, out of knowledge and devotion, which should be given first priority? And a very related question by her also, does Jnana Mishra
Bhakti
take us quickly to God?
Yes. So you got the point. So the knowledge and devotion are actually goes together. The practice is a little different, but it goes together. Otherwise, if you don't have the devotion means your eagerness to perform, you won't get the knowledge also. And if you don't have the knowledge, no question of devotion. The God is there and He has created this universe and He is there in different form in this universe. If this knowledge is not there, how the devotion will come? So knowledge and devotion should go together. And Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna, he has prescribed for the present day, he said, Naradiya Bhakti is the path, is the way. What is the Naradiya Bhakti? Is the knowledge and the devotion clubbed together. Tad arpita akhila acharata. Tad means that God. But here the Narada is not telling he or she. Tad. It means the Atman, the consciousness, the Brahman. Tad arpita, giving or offering, akhila acharata. All the work that I do, physically, mentally, and through words, I offer it to God. Can I offer bad things to God? So I should the way I'm speaking, it should be very, very helpful to others. I should control my thoughts also, and my action should be purified. So tad arpita akhila acharata, and then comes tad vishmarane parama vyakulata iti. And when I forget about the presence of God, I feel, oh, I am breathless, like that. That Bhishmarane.
The next question is from Tuhin Kana. There are infinite qualities of God. Should I meditate only on few of those qualities?
Infinite qualities of God. Friends, that Tuhin, we just discussed that God wanted that we should develop these qualities. If you read the 12th chapter, that is called Bhakti Yoga, in the Bhagavad Gita, 13 to 19 verses, I think 7 verses, and the God is telling over there, Adveshta Sarvabhutanam, Maitra Karuna Evacha, like that, those qualities we should imbibe, and that is God. Thank you.
Next question is from Tanya Guha. I want to know how to meditate deeply on God. In brackets, Ishtadeva.
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 So you must have, as you are mentioning Ishtadeva, that means you must have taken the initiation from the Guru, and he must have taught you how to meditate. So just concentrate on that, practice that. So when you are meditating, try to think that you have become Ishtadeva. Forget about your existence. You think only Ishtadeva is sitting and there is no one else. Your whole body, your whole personality is nothing but that Ishtadeva. That is the best way of meditation. Thank you.
The next question is from Gajanan Thakur. How can a person remember about serving God when he is working under not so moral person and is being made party to his misdeeds?
I can understand, Gajananji. But when you are working, go on praying to God mentally. God, I don't have any other option. And whatever may be for my past karma phala or your desire, your wish, I am now in this situation. So please forgive me for the thing that I am doing. I cannot say no to these because I have to have this job and earn some money. But at the same time, I am not supporting mentally to do this work. So please help me, please help me. For sure, you will get a better option and you will be free from all those things.
The next question is from Charles Fieldman. You say to please God, how do we know what God wants us to do, as opposed to what people say?
Now, God has already said again and again, Charles, that here we find God again and again is telling that once again, if you go back to the talk that I have given today, that it is the God wants us that we should help others, think positively about others, and also try to understand our own minds. And in the mind where there is a desire for different things, we have to curtail those slowly. We have to come back, and for whatever may be, in one word I can say, through word, through thought, and through physical action, I am not going to hurt anyone. That is exactly what the God wants us to do. All others work is all right.
The next question is from Seema. Seema is asking, realization of God makes us sinless, that is, no subject object. How do they conduct in this world?
No subject object. That from the Vedanta they are telling that that there is a subject. God cannot be the subject because something is the object. God cannot be the object because He is always subject. So when I realize God, I become God, right? And what is that realization? What is that knowledge? Now again I will request you, Seema, to go and open the biography of Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna. He was a God intoxicated person. He saw God all the time, every moment. But how he lived? Look at the life of Ma Sharadamani Devi. How she lived? After the realization of God, after the knowledge of God, a person can live in that way. I see God in everything, but those people, they don't understand that they are God. So I go and behave with them the way they expect it. So I do like that. But at the back of the mind, I am always very clear, I am not going to harm that person. That is the way one should live. Thank you.
So the last question, Maharaj, Shaunak Roy is asking how humility comes.
That is the practice, the slowly the humility. If you go on thinking, the intellect that the God has given to me, and He has given intellect to so many other people also. The success in my work that I have done, it could be done through any other person also. So you will become humble. So that is the way we can develop the humility. Thank you very much. Thank you, friends. Thank you for the wonderful questions. Now let us go back to that the chanting, and we conclude that the Supreme Lord, who is all pervading, and He has created the gods and goddesses, the human being, animals and reptiles and birds, and also the trees and everything. So they all praise to Him. Yam Brahma Varunendra Rudra Maruta Stunnanti Dibbhai Stabai Vedai Sangha Pada Kramapanishadai Gayanti Yam Samaga Dhyanavastita Tadgatena Manasa Pashyanti Yam Yogina Yasyantam na vidu surasuragana devaya tasmai namaha. Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om Tat Sat.